everyone, this is Marika and welcome back to another session of Community Health Nursing with me. So in our previous session, we have discussed about what is climate and what are the several factors that influence the climate, in which we have discussed about climate is described as a weather prevailing over a particular region for a longer period of time. And we've also seen that there are several factors that determines the climate of a particular region, which includes the temperature, the movement of the winds, the solar energy, the humidity in the atmosphere, as well as atmospheric pressure. Climate is one of the most important component of a man's physical environment, wherein climate is what decides what kind of shelter, food, clothing we as humans need. Now, in this session today, we are going to discuss about climate and health. We are going to discuss about climate change and what is the impact of changing climate on human beings. As we know, the population in our world is increasing. Human population is increasing on a daily basis. And the increase in the human population is also demanding more amount of fuel, more amount of wood, and more amount of resources. Now, the increasing population needs more amount of fuel for its sustainability. It requires more amount of land for its survival, more amount of food for its survival, and any other resources for the existence or survival. Now, because there is increase in the human population, there is an increase in the demand, there is increased use of every different kind of resources. The increase in these resources leads to various factors that brings the change that impacts our environment negatively, such as increase in the population leads in increasing demand of the resources, which in turn results in deforestation, soil erosion, fuel and wood crisis, etc. When there is more number of population, the amount of land that is required is also increased, the amount of fuel that is consumed is also increased, the amount of food that is consumed is also increased. In order to accommodate many number of people, we need to clear up the forest, we need to convert the forest into residential area, and therefore there will be deforestation. When there is deforestation, it is obvious that soil erosion will be present, and so there will be decrease in the fertility of the soil, there will be decrease in the production of the food and fruits. So one particular aspect will lead to deterioration of various different factors which will disturb the entire ecosystem, which disturbs the entire environment. Can you imagine every year more than 11 hectares of forests are being cleared due to the increased demand of fuel and woods? For using fuel and woods, obviously the forest has to be cleared, and 11 hectares of forest is being for using fuels and woods every year. Now, it is not just about deforestation, clearing the forest. Because of the increased use of fuels and woods, it is also increasing the amount of carbon dioxide and other harmful gases that are present in our atmosphere. So, as the level of these gases rises in the atmosphere, it is obviously leading to global warming, ozone depletion, which will in turn have harmful effect on the human beings and every other living creature on the earth. Now, the production of all these gases due to the use of resources, woods and fuel has led to the change in the composition of the atmosphere. So the atmospheric composition has been changed because what is not supposed to be there in the atmosphere, what is not supposed to be present in the atmosphere is now present, or the amount at which a certain gas or a certain substance is to be present in the atmosphere has increased so much that it is causing changes in the composition of the atmosphere. Now, these changes in the atmosphere is leading to environmental instability. Particularly, the increase in the greenhouse gases, the ozone depletion, and acid rain may cause various climatological disorder in near future. So, as the composition of the atmosphere is being changed, it is not natural now, right? There are certain toxic gases, there are certain toxic substances that are present in the atmosphere. It is obvious that those toxic chemicals, gases will cause certain health hazards in human beings. And all these changes in the atmosphere, especially the increase in the greenhouse gases, the depletion of the ozone, are seen as some of the major reasons which can cause climatological disaster. Now, let us see what are the climatical changes that have occurred. The first change is increase in the intensity and frequency of drought. In some part of Asia and Africa, it is seen that in recent decades, there has been increase in the frequency as well as intensity of drought. The second climatic change that is seen in recent years is the storm. Storms in the recent decade have been found to be very frequent, very intense, and very persistent. The third climatic change is the change in the temperature. It is seen that the temperature has been rising every year, and it is related to various illnesses or diseases seen in human population. The fourth climatic change is that there are chances of occurring weather extremes. That means it will be very, very hot during the summer days and very cold during the winter days in near future. So the weather can go to extreme condition in the near future. The fifth climatic change is that there have been certain projection about the rise in the global sea level. So it is also said that the global sea level will also rise. Moving on, let us see what is the impact of climatic changes on human beings. So obviously, as I said, climate is one of the most important physical component of our physical environment. It decides what we are going to eat, what kind of shelter we as human beings need, what kind of clothing we need, right? So the climatic changes will affect human beings. It is obvious that the changes in the climatic condition will affect the human beings and other living creatures as well. What effect can be seen on human beings, how it will affect the human beings, let us see in detail. The very first effect on human being is decreased availability of drinking water, especially safe and clean drinking water. So as there is increase in the climate, as there's global warming, as we've seen that the sea level will rise, there will be droughts and flood. Now during the period of flood or drought, there will be scarcity of drinking water which is clean and safe. Now, from this only we can understand if there's scarcity of drinking water, which is the basic requirement of a human body, and especially the one which is clean and safe, it is obvious that it will lead to various health problems in human beings, leading to morbidity and mortality. So the first impact of climate change on human being is that there will be decrease in the availability of drinking water, which is clean and safe. The second impact is, as I said, there will be chances of waterborne diseases due to the consumption of the contaminated water. So as human beings will not be able to have the availability of clean and safe water, they have to consume contaminated water. When contaminated water is consumed, it is obvious that there will be increased number of waterborne diseases. The third impact of climatic change is that there will be decrease in the production of food, fruits and vegetables because of soil erosion. As I said, when deforestation occurs, there will be soil erosion. When there is soil erosion, the soil loses its fertility. The amount of food or fruit that is produced from the soil will be decreased, as the soil will not be fertile to yield any kind of fruits and vegetables. So there will be decreased production of food, fruits and vegetables due to the infertility of the soil, which is actually caused by soil erosion. Now, soil erosion has another cause associated, which is deforestation. The fourth impact on human being is that there will be displacement of human beings due to various adverse effects on human health. And the last impact on human being is that as there will be decreased production of food, fruit, drinking water, there will be decreased soil fertility, and there will be also various waterborne and other diseases. People will be suffering from various different health hazards. I hope you've understood what is the impact of climatic change on the environment as well as on human beings. Now, let us see how is climate associated with health. And by now, you've already understood how climate is affected and how that particular factor affects other factors, which will eventually affect the health of an individual or the entire human population. As human beings, we have also adjusted ourselves to different kind of climate, right? We have adjusted ourselves to hot climate, to cold climate, desert, mountain. We see that people are able to adjust to different kind of climate. Some people are adjusted, some people can stay in a cold climate, whereas there are some people who survive in very hot climate in mountain areas, and there are some people who are also able to survive in desert areas. So human beings are adapted to different kind of climatic changes, and they are able to survive in such kind of climatic changes as well. The climatic condition and the weather of a particular region in which people stay influence their health and their life, right? What kind of climate do I stay in? What kind of climate my region has affect the kind of life that I have as well as my health. So similarly like that, for every individual, the kind of climate that they live in, the kind of weather that their region has affects their health as well as their life. Natural disasters such as flood, drought, cyclone, tsunami, earthquake also affect human beings. And it is seen that poor people and poor countries countries suffer more than the rich countries and rich people. Rich countries and rich people. The state of Orissa in the year 1999 was hit by a cyclonic storm. The death of the people in the year 1999 due to the storm in Orissa was around 10,000. As I said, human beings are able to adjust to certain climatic changes, they adjust and they even survive in such climatic changes. But when there is a sudden short-term fluctuation, it causes serious health problems and also sometimes it can be fatal. In the year 1998 also many people died due to heat stroke. Heavy rainfall can lead to mosquito breedings in high number and also cause epidemic and also spread of various other diseases. Various human activities such as deforestation, cultivation, agriculture are leading to various problems such as landslide. Landslide is a sudden downslope movement of the land due to gravitational pull, and that usually occurs because of rainfall during the rainy season. In India, landslides are majorly seen in Himalayan regions and Western Ghats. Landslide may also be fatal. It may cause damage to human life as it causes roadblocks, it uproots the plant, it disturbs the habitat of the people and animal, and also these factors eventually affect the health of the people. So all of this occurs either due to natural cause or because of certain human activities. These are all the problems that may occur because of climatic change, which is indirectly related to human activities. Now, this disaster, whether it is natural or a man-made disaster, are occurring because of the climatic changes. Climatic changes is occurring because of human activity. So as humans, it is our responsibility to understand what is the root cause of all the problems, all the disaster that is occurring. That is it for today's class. In our next class, we will be discussing about the natural disaster, how it occurs, how it can be prevented, and how it affects the health of an individual. I hope you've understood today's class, and to summarize, today we have discussed about climatic change, in which we've seen how does climatic change occurs, how does it impact the human beings, what are the impact on humans and climate and health. I hope the class was helpful, and I'll see you all in the next session where we will discuss about the natural disaster, its prevention and its effects on human beings. Thank you and have a great day ahead.